Ryan, for introducing me. Let me share my screen. Does it look good? Everybody can see? Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. So again, hello everyone. Happy GIS Day. It's a good day to have a GIS day. It's a little bit cloudy here in Southern California, but hopefully everybody have a good time and then learn a lot as well. Again, I'm Canserina Kurnia. I'm Senior Solution Engineer with ESRI, with the main role to support the higher educations in advancing their remote sensing and GIS for teaching, also for research and campus operation. So it's glad to have you here. Thank you. Well, because this is a career panel or careers topic, I decided to have introduce my own career, so my own career journey. So you probably can relate to this one. So my academic background is a landscape architecture for my first degree in my own country, Indonesia, is Bogor Agricultural University. Then I got an opportunity to take my master degree in landscape planning from New South Wales University in Australia. During my master degree, I learned the first time about GIS, and I immediately fall in love with the GIS technology. So after I completed my study, I decided to contact ESRI and join ESRI. First is ESRI South Asia, where I become a GIS manager or GIS consultant there. Then I make a big leap in 1999 to join ESRI headquarters in Redlands, California. First as an instructor. So I was an instructor and technical lead for 14 years, where I met so many ESRI clients and also taught many classes and travel on many different locations in US and also internationally. So it was a wonderful job. I really enjoy becoming instructor and teaching the users. Then in 2014, ESRI offered me an assignment to support ESRI Global Asia Pacific station in Singapore, that I built the technical capacity for the distributors in 16 countries. It was a wonderful opportunity as well, so make me travel a lot as well. Now, after 4 years in Singapore, I kind of like miss Southern California. I miss Redlands, even though Redlands is a lot smaller than Singapore. I decided to come back to Redlands and join the higher education team at ESRI as a senior solution engineer. Again, my main role now is to support the universities, students, faculty members, researcher, campus operation in using ESRI technology. So that's a little bit about me. What agenda that I have for this presentation? I make assumption that some of you are new to GIS. So I want to briefly talk about what is GIS. And then after that, I go directly into what you gain of having GIS skills, career opportunities, how to prepare yourself, and closing with learning and networking resources. During my presentations, feel free if you want to post any question in the chat, and I will have make sure that we have time to cover the question and answer, especially if the next speaker will not be able to make it. So what is GIS? I think all of you at least know it stands for the Geographic Information System. It's a system that designed to capture, store, analyze, and manage spatial or geographic data. Let's talk a little bit in more detail in here. So GIS is rooted in the powerful foundation of geography, which is where. So the first thing that we normally do in GIS is mapping the location. So where are things located? Okay. We can begin to understand the relationship or phenomena just simply visualizing the information on the map. So I take an example in here for from maybe one of our clients, Starbucks. Okay, they start by putting the location of Starbucks on the map. So where are they? And then after that, once we know where things are, then the next question is usually, how does this phenomena related to one another? Okay, so how things related, and soon you're gonna see the pattern. You can see if there is any outliers or anomalies. You can actually see if there is any statistically significant hotspot or cold spot. You can see then how that one thing relate to another. If we have an example of the Starbucks, we map out the Starbucks location. Now we can see why or how some of Starbucks store is located in certain area. And then we also see how they perform. Some of the store is perform better than the other. Then you can see actually why. Then the next one is making predictions. So after we understand the where, the location, the pattern, and we combine it with other data, such as demography, for example, into the location, we can begin making predictions here. So given the pattern that we have with the existing store of Starbucks, then we can predict maybe a similar location on the other area and see if there is actually perform the same or better with the area that we see in the pattern. So basically, we can actually uncover the factor that explain with the observations. Okay? And the last thing, of course, the most important in here is taking action. So now that we understand where things are, we understand the pattern, we make prediction, then we need to do something with that information. Okay? So back into the Starbucks locations example, based on this proximity, potential customer, then we can actually do the site selection for the new store and also combine with the data about the competition, sales, and everything, then we can take actions. Okay? So hopefully that's give a little bit idea the process normally what GIS can do in the simple ways. But in the sense is geographic approach is a way of thinking of problem solving that integrate geographic science or location science. It's a location based, it's a science based, is a holistic approach because is you can infuse multidisciplinary process, many different expertise to apply to the same project. Okay? And all of them has a common thing, which is location. So that's lead into the next topics. What makes GIS different? What makes GIS unique in this case? Well, first of all, it's applicable to multidiscipline. So it's not only for geographers. The methodology, the analysis, and the tools that you learn in GIS are applicable and being used across a wide array of disciplines, from humanities, public health, business, urban planning, data science, computer science, environmental, earth science, name it. Anything that's related to location, they can use GIS. Okay? So I just give a few in here. That's where the GIS professionals in many different projects are doing and applying their GIS skills. You can see in responding to pandemic or epidemics, we use GIS. In the public health, we use GIS. In improving diversity, equity, inclusion, we use GIS. In developing renewable energy, site selection for finding renewable energy, we use GIS. We use GIS for building resilient community, for automation, for public transport, sustainability city, any things that have locations, you can apply the geographic approach or GIS. So what you can do with your GIS skill? GIS may not be your domain, but why do you want to learn these skills? what you can do with GIS skills. I have the 3 things that I want to bring it up to you. First, be a change agent. What does it mean? In any field you want to apply your skill, GIS can help. So GIS has been used in solving many complex issues from climate change, again, public health, social equity, help with disaster and recovery, and many more. So if you want to work in the job that contribute to making the difference, GIS skill can be your vehicle for that. Okay. So a good example in here, we have a picture here of Jane Goodall. Everybody knows Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall is our science expert on saving chimpanzee. Jane Goodall is the leader, the global leader on saving chimpanzee, but she still needs someone with GIS skills to map the home range or area where chimpanzee move in search of food and other resources. She needs help somebody that can show on the map if there is any conflict between the chimpanzee area and also deforestation or increase in settlement in the area. Okay? So you work side by side with the expert like this in many different disciplines, and you can become the change agent. That's the first thing. The second thing is gain marketable skills. When you leave your study, either a BA or a MA or PhD degree, what will make you stand out? What will make you different than your peers? Okay. Well, if you gain GIS skill, you learn how to think spatially, the ability to solve problems in a new holistic way using location intelligence. And this skill has been such in demand at the moment that a lot of employers actually looking for. So you have your own skill from your domain, but you make actually more advantage or added value by having the spatial thinking or GIS skill that make you stand out among your peer. And the last thing is get a job. As I said, there are a wide range of job or profession that need to use GIS. Okay, so let's now go into that topic about the career opportunity with the GIS skills. According to U.S. Department of Labor, Labor's Bureau of Labor Statistics, GIS has grown immensely over the past 25 years into the industry that estimated at approximately 30 billion per year, emerging as useful tool to increasingly diverse application area. It's just part of the booming service economy because it's more and more data available now, and more location people movement location data become available, and they need professional with the spatial analytic capability to analyze the data. Again, the other wonderful strength with this fascinating technology is the fact that it's applicable in many industries. I think I say it many, many times. It can apply for the federal, state agency, public sector. It's also applied to private industry, especially commercial and services. It's applied to non-profits. We have so many non-profits organizations using our technology, and also academia. Okay. Many students now for many different disciplines take GIS class and location analytic classes as well. So GIS can be applied and used in a variety of array of the fields. So there are literally thousands of jobs, professions that employ GIS. And in my slide here, this is just small samples of the diverse arrays of fields or titles that utilize GIS in this role. Some in the orange one it's the latest one, like improving diversity, equity, inclusion, fleet logistic management, store optimization analysis. Okay. But you probably, when you're looking for the job in GIS, you won't necessarily read GIS words on them, but they do actually utilizing GIS technology. Again, any of this profession or task that you think that it touch location, there is more likely that they use the location analytic or GIS on that. Okay? So if you take a look of the what skill needed for GIS that you need to learn, this is some example from the job posting requirement. And the one that highlighted one is related to GIS skills. Okay, so if I can summarize these skills, the first is the ability to do the requirement gathering using the tool, the software, like maybe you see if it's Esri related, like ArcGIS, ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Pro, or application configuration, mobile application, web application, a story map. Okay, so it's written on all over that. And the work of location intelligence, the work of spatial analysis, that's also the key. That will be the GIS skill. Automation, scripting, that's also important because there's so many our customers want to do automation, want to run script for doing certain tasks. And also platform related, the ability to understand how to publish item to the cloud, how to sharing to the cloud, how to do web GIS. So with these skills on demand, you may get a job with any industry. Okay, so it's not only in geography, it's not only at Esri, any industry. It's a lot of demands for the skill that needed with the location analytics. So I want to give a couple example in here on the getting the job in here. So we see the increasing demand on job market for spatial data scientists. There are many data scientists, okay, but not many of them incorporating location analytics. Okay, now this is one a good example. We even create a blog for her. So this is Beth Roger. Beth Roger obtained her master's degree in geoscience at the Western Kentucky University. When she studied, almost graduated, she was thinking she wanted to have an academic career in ocean science. But her spatial thinking and location intelligence skill, spatial analysis capability lead her to a totally different career. She got hired by a retail company, Fruit of Loom, as the senior manager for data science, teach other data scientists how to use location analytics. Okay? And she became the catalyst for data-driven change within that company. And now she also a manager of data science with Bath and Body Works. Well, everybody probably know Bath and Body Works. Okay? So you never know. Your spatial thinking, maybe you start in geoscience, maybe you start in oceanography, but it may lead you to the different career. Another example is close here at Esri. Increasing demand on job markets for those that understand location intelligence, David Yu. So David Yu has a bachelor degree in computer science from the University of Hong Kong. And he also have the master in the computer science from University of California, Riverside. Then he applied for internship at Esri, and he got a position with the data science team at Esri. That led him to get hired by Esri as a data scientist and then become the senior data scientist at Esri. Then after a few years, he featured in many of our conferences. Then he got job offer from one of our big client, which is New York Life Insurance Company. So he knows a lead data scientist that introducing spatial or location analytics to other data scientists at the New York Life Insurance Company. So you can see that many company, even the insurance company, look for the demand, that capability to do the spatial data science or spatial analytics. Now, many of you are probably thinking like, I'm come to this session, I want to also learn what is career with Esri. Well, we have many positions at Esri. Esri is recognized as the world leader in development of GIS software. So we do have softwares, we build software, okay? We have more than 1 million users worldwide, as in many different industry and many different countries. We have the headquarters in Redlands, California, but we also have regional offices. We have also several research and development centers across the globes, and many of our business in many different countries is carried out by international distributors. Okay. Now, we have many job position as you see in here. Okay, product management, product engineer, business development, marketing, educational services, professional services. Okay. But for students, if you are still students, we have two opportunities. We have the summer internship program, about 100 to 120 paid summer internship program for many different teams at Esri. Normally, the application open in September, close in December. Then we're gonna fill in for rolling basis from that. Another one is student assistantship program. This is a 1 week student assistantship that you help us in several of our conferences. The biggest one in San Diego in July, that we have about 17,000 GIS professionals come. So you help us with the conference, in the same time you attend the conference as well. Okay, so how to apply to all of this, the job, the internship, the assistantship? You just go to Esri Career, okay? And you go filtering using the word assistants or interns, and you can see the list of them, and you can apply to them. Okay. All right, so I've been talking a lot. What I want to do now is thank you for giving me a little bit more time here. I want you to hear, for those that work in GIS at Esri, how they actually like about their job and also what they do with their job. Okay, so I'm gonna try to play a video now. Bear with me here. Okay. And then give me a thumbs up, any of you in the camera, if you can hear the voice, okay?
I'm John Nelson. I'm coming to you from a woodshed in my backyard in Michigan.
Esri Customer Service, Roxanne speaking. How may I help you?
So I'm originally from Kenya, and I'm very proud of that.
I was born and raised in Dubai.
I'm from a small town, probably no one ever heard of, King Street, South Carolina.
I'm born in the center of Germany.
I grew up in eastern Montana, sort of the middle of nowhere.
I'm Nana, and I'm from Ghana.
I've been to 6 of the 7 continents. I haven't made it to Antarctica.
My wife, Sarah, also works at Esri, so we met here. We're another Esri couple.
I go back to my earliest childhood. My father had rows and rows and rows of National Geographic magazine. I think it was sort of baked in, this love of geography.
When I went and saw this movie, War Games, this is a movie back in the day, there were just incredible maps on computers, and I was fascinated. I went and grabbed this Apple II, and the next thing you know, I'd written a program to draw this map of the world, and I was hooked.
After my first GIS class in my undergrad days, I noticed that there were lots of problems around that could be solved by GIS.
I was intending to go to university and study law, but I read about this technology and it wasn't on the curriculum at the time, it was a footnote, and it just blew my mind.
And I sat there and I pushed a button to make a dot density map. And all of a sudden these dots started sprinkling in and data started revealing itself. And I'm looking at this thing and it's like this model of the world coming to life right before my eyes. And I thought, this is magical.
I changed my degree, didn't tell my parents until we were on holiday. But yeah, no, it's the best thing I ever did.
I think GIS resonates with people because it is the marriage of science and technology with art.
It's very concrete and tangible. People get to really understand things when they see it depicted in the context of the world in which they themselves live in.
Getting a glimpse or a lens into what's going on in our society that maybe we can't see in any other way.
How do you visualize something as ephemeral as millions of little species migrating over the surface of the entire Earth? How do you keep track of all that? How do you represent that?
And it becomes with that not only a way of communicating something complex into something simple.
It's so easy to feel so small in such a big world. And so when you can contribute to something like GIS and the GIS community, it makes you feel a little less insignificant, makes you feel like you're part of something bigger.
GIS means preserving the world as we have it. It's thinking about my kids and my grandkids and future generations.
And really the ability to integrate the environmental factors with the social factors.
And now you get to actually look and go, oh, it's more than just about income. It's about social justice. It's about equity. It's also about environmental justice. It's helping solve questions that people didn't think to ask before.
In what other industry do you have where something is rooted so intrinsically in something bound up within us? The concept of where.
The payoff is that you are impacting people's lives. And I can't think of anything more important. That's, to me, why we're all here, is to learn and grow and impact people's lives in a positive way.
So if we all can get to commit to working and solving a problem, we can all put our heads together to find a solution. Yeah. And that's my heartfelt one.
All right, so hopefully you can see how passionate we are at Esri working with the technology, how excited we are. You see there's a lot of job opportunity at Esri, but also we have a lot of the jobs available in other locations as well. You can see that. And don't forget, Esri also have partners. Partners need the skill as well. Partner need to hire people with the skills. Our distributor needs people to hire with the skills as well. So I'm gonna post it in the chat, all of this link that coming up. I'm gonna just close things real quick about how to prepare yourself. Okay, if you want to go pursuing the career that related to location analytics or GIS. Okay, first thing is really understand the industry trend and emerging technology. Technology keep changing. The GIS 25 years ago is different GIS today. Get the skill to work with the different platform and data, the cloud, the connected desktop, the enterprise, the mobile. Keep emerging technology as well, like the one that I listed here. Artificial intelligence, geospatial AI or geo AI, spatial data science, real-time GIS, remote sensing, a lot of data from drones, reality mapping, digital twins. On many of these trends, if you get a chance to look at them and then master them as well, that will help you. Well, the other thing is, this is a few tips that I have for all of you. Competition is very high at the moment to get hired. Even for the internship, we have 120 positions. We probably get about 8,000 to 10,000 applications. Okay, so stand out yourself. You develop skill on your field of study, but go beyond your field of study. Know the technology and the company or role that you are applying for. I joined several career fairs. Everybody have a very good, recently computer science engineering. They have a solid computer science engineering background and expertise. But when I say like, have you tried location analytics into your data? And most of them say no. If you just say like with your strength in computer science and engineering, say like, yes, I take a look at Esri and I apply some of your code into mapping in JavaScript or Python, I probably just put your resume as a top on the list. Okay, so it's just like you need to know the technology and company roles that you're applying for. And self-learning to keep up with technology. It's not enough to just learning in the classroom. in the campus, you need to also do the self-learning diligently. And there's so many resources available for that. Build your own confidence and communication skill. We cannot understand your strength unless you communicate well. Okay? Get experience internship, student assistant, or even volunteering. If we see it in your resume, that means that you go beyond only studying. You actually pursuing getting experience before getting the real job. Build your resume or portfolio creatively. Maybe even consider using StoryMap. This is a picture of Amanda Huber. She built her portfolio using the StoryMap, and she even won the honorable mentions in ESRI 2018 storytelling competition. Okay? And then lead her into get a job as well with one of our clients. So on the top of that, make sure that's networking and noticeable in here, okay? Last thing, I have a lot of resources and then networking as well. So what I'm gonna do is, this is a lot of lessons in here. You can use the lesson and then it's come with the data, it come with the software, some of them, or many of you in, you see University of California, you get access to all ESRI technology, so you don't have to worry about that. You can also join our MOOC, which is massive online courses. Okay, you also can join our community. You can also go and get the ESRI Press book. So I'm gonna give you the list as well on the link. Okay, but the last thing that I want to mention is please join networking. This is it's called ESRI Young Professional Network. ESRI Young Professional Network is a community for those who just starting their GIS journey or experienced professional new to the field. So if you almost graduate, you want to you know, connect with like-minded peers in the industry expert, join our YPN in here. Or even you probably can become the next phase of YPN, share how your journey with the GIS technology, okay? All right, so I don't know if I have the QA. I'll let Ryan tell me if I still have time for this. But before we close, I really appreciate this opportunity and thank you so much for all of you attending. And I will post the link in the chat now.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We'll take questions. Just type them out in chat and we'll take about a few minutes for questions. And then we will deconvene and reconvene at 2 for our rounds of lightning talks. So thank you again. It was a great presentation. Do we have any questions?
There's a lot of links that I put it on there. If anybody want to just save the chat, so you get all the link, I think.
Yeah, I'll be saving those links.
I don't know, Ryan. It's either it's so clear or it's out of time.
No, I think it was very clear, very clear. So, all right, if there's no questions, thank you again. That was a very nice presentation. It's always good to hear from Esri people. And to know that you actually pronounce it Esri as well. We're not just making up the pronunciation of it.
There's a funny story, Ryan. A long time ago, we have to have ES or I, but then they do the market study and they think like your user using Esri. Why you use ES or I? So no, we use Esri as well.
Well, there you go. Excellent. So thank you again, everyone. We will shut down for now. The room will still remain open. And at 2 o'clock, I'll see you all hopefully for our rounds of lightning talks.
Thank you, everyone.